And while the U.S. and Russia prepare for that high-stakes summit in Alaska, Ukraine already sounding the alarm. President Zelenskyy insisting no peace deal can be made without Ukraine at the table. And he is warning that Putin is playing mind games that the U.S. may be falling for. NewsNation correspondent Robert Sherman live in Ukraine's capital with the latest tonight. Robert.
Hey there, Natasha. Well, at this hour, the Ukrainians are still on the outside looking in, but hoping that that will change, with the message coming from the top here with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy saying any decisions made about Ukraine regarding Ukraine's future should include Ukrainians in that conversation, particularly if that conversation involves so-called territorial swaps, as President Trump has said. So at this juncture, while the Ukrainians still do not have an invite to Alaska, the door is open for something to possibly happen there. But meanwhile, you see Russia not easing its pressure on the Ukrainians. Today, a strike carried out in Zaporizhia, which injured 19 people, according to local officials that were on the ground there. And this is why the Ukrainians say that their fear is Russia is not being sincere about their public comments, saying that they want to move towards peace, with the Ukrainian president saying this in his evening address tonight.
Of course, our team is working with the United States. Not a single day goes by without communication on how to ensure peace. We understand Russia's intention to try to deceive America. We will not allow this. I greatly value the determination with which President Trump is committed to bringing an end to the killings in this war.
The fear that the Ukrainians have is that Russia will attempt to show a good face in Alaska and carry on these conversations with the United States, but all the while pressing forward in the war, driving deeper into Ukrainian territory and attempting to take more territory before the next round of negotiations. That is the big concern that the Ukrainians are trying to sound the alarm on here this evening. Natasha.
Yeah, and Robert, you've been speaking with so many Ukrainians, both fighters and regular people. What is the biggest concern you are hearing that Ukrainians have as this summit approaches?
Well, as negotiations drive forward, the big fear is avoiding capitulation at all costs here, Natasha, because they hear terms such as territorial swaps, and they view this as all being their territory here. And the idea of giving up land at this juncture, according to the Ukrainian president, he says, is not something that they're very interested in. Using his own words, he says that he asked the question, what does that mean the last 3.5 years would be for if they're giving up any of this territory here? So as they're prepared to push forward with conversations with the United States, their biggest concern is giving in to any Russian ultimatums as opposed to negotiating their own future. Natasha.
Robert Sherman live in Kyiv with that. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.